Yeah.
It's one thing to weather the storm. It's a whole other thing to be the storm. Arjun Menon on the ghost ride. Saquon Barkley and these Eagles hosting the Rams. Jalen Hurts. Can we spin it today? Opening drive, 2nd and 4, near midfield. Don't have to. We'll let the legs do the talk.
For the 9th time. Damien Woody is with us. Damien, listen, this Eagles passing game continues to struggle. Sure helps when you have Saquon Barkley in the backfield, but to what extent now can Barkley continue to carry this team to wins?
He can. When you got that offensive line like the Philadelphia Eagles have, and obviously we know the talent of Saquon Barkley and the way they play defense, this is going to be the Philadelphia Eagles recipe for trying to win a championship this year. And Saquon Barkley is just such a special talent. We just see it. He's like a battering ram. Boom, boom, 5 yards, 6 yards, 7 yards. Then all of a sudden he rips off 65 yards. So they are intentional in how they want to go about their business. And this style and this formula can absolutely get them to a Super Bowl.
On the other sideline here in this NFC Championship game, here comes Jayden Daniels, almost too young to know any better, but he has 6 touchdowns and 3 turnovers in 2 games this season against the Eagles. So, Damien, how confident are you that he can lead Washington to another upset?
Jayden Daniels is a stone-cold killer, man. I've been saying that phrase, it seemed like for a long time with him. He doesn't have a pulse. Nothing phases this guy. You know, you blitz him, he finds a way. You pressure him, he still finds a way. He's just a tremendous player. I can make the case right now, Jayden Daniels is the best quarterback in these playoffs still. That's how great he's playing at the quarterback position. So he absolutely, the way he's instilled confidence in this Washington Commanders team, they absolutely have an opportunity and they can go in there into the link and win that game.
Best quarterback in the playoffs that still have Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. I'll understand in the NFC.
Who's playing the best right now? If you watch all the quarterbacks, who's playing the best? I know people will probably take those other guys, but who's playing the best? Jayden Daniels is playing the best.
For right now, that's Damien Woody putting his name on it. And a month ago against the Birds, Daniels backing you up. Had a QBR of 96. That's out of 100. Damien Woody, we appreciate you. Thank you.
The Morning Sports Center, big Monday. That's why we got Coach Herm Edwards here, Randy Sky here, Gary Stridsky rocking with you. TikTok and the Ravens both went down this weekend.
Yeah.
Only one of them was able to come back.
Here's the thing. Buffalo's not going to steal your data. They will steal the football. You lose the turnover battle.
They did do
your offseason starts now. And that's why we are set up for a rematch at Arrowhead. We're going to Quentin Tarantino this thing and show you how we got there. It's Lamar. It's Josh. It's Orchard Park, New York, man. The weather was a factor.
Absolutely. He needed to win this game badly.
Yeah.
And now he gets to go to Kansas City. And I think he's been waiting for this all year.
Is there any part of you that looks at this, if you're looking for a nit to pick, and you say Josh Allen needed 3 turnovers, Josh Allen only had 100 and some odd passing yards.
Coach, he's looking for trouble.
Well, I'm just saying, is there any fly in the ointment here for the Bills' offense that needed these short fields, needed to be able to set up in the red zone after the Von Miller fumble recovery, and still Baltimore had a chance to, perhaps deservedly so, win this game?
Well, think about it. Baltimore is an excellent football team. I mean, when you reach the playoffs at this level, I mean, you're a good football team. You don't reach it luckily. I mean, you reach it because of what you've done. And Josh Allen has carried this Buffalo football team the whole season, and he did it again in playoff competition. He made some good throws, but his legs provided them a good running game. And so this is all about Josh Allen. This is Josh Allen's football team. I mean, should be the MVP of the league, in my opinion, because of what he's done with this team.
Yeah, probably will be.
For Josh Allen, 11 consecutive games now, having not turned the football over a single time. And that is why they're playing Kansas City in the AFC title game. Who's playing in the NFC title game? Well, to figure that out, it was what started the day, Coach. The link. It was a frosty play. Saquon Barkley, he's going to be certainly the focus. So too is Jalen.
Through to their 9th NFC Championship game.
Coach, you brought up your concerns with the Eagles passing game on this program. Is that ultimately going to be the fatal flaw for these Eagles?
Not really. In the fact, understand this, the Eagles understand who they are. They run themselves into the playoffs.
Sure.
They are a running football team. The passing part of it's optional at best. And I think as long as you do this, as long as you can make some plays in the passing game, but you can continue to run this football the way they do, they dictate the terms of how the game's going to be played because of the run game.
Yeah.
They can slow the game down. They can do whatever they want. And the run game is so explosive. It's almost like a big pass when you have a running back like Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
I mean, he runs for 40, 60, 50 yards. I mean, every time you turn around, he's just running. It's like, man, it's almost like a big pass play.
Right.
Hey, you ain't lying.
Hurts has not topped 131 passing yards in either playoff game, and here we are, NFC Championship.
We thought the running back was overrated, right?
Hey,
I don't know about
hey,
anymore.
I don't know.
Not
I don't
us,
know
not
if
us.
we thought that.
More from Coach coming up. Let's get to the college
People
game
signing
here.
the checks, Mike.
Because it's Notre Dame, it's Ohio State. There's only one game remaining, and two teams are fighting.
Yes, division round weekend is the best football weekend in the calendar year, and it did not disappoint. It gave us storylines galore, and of course, that makes for a spicy upon further review. So before we get to that, she is the lovely Michelle Smallman. He is the hoodie Evan Cohen, although he's not wearing a hoodie today.
No.
A little bit disappointing.
Thank you.
Yeah, me too. Snow day? I thought for sure.
Exactly. But nonetheless, this is upon further review. Jovante, if you will.
Number 3.
Jayden Daniels is the architect of the best rookie season we've ever seen from a quarterback. Let me say it again. Jayden Daniels is the architect of the best rookie season that we've ever seen from a QB. He tied Ben Roethlisberger for total wins regular season and postseason at 14, with 12 regular season wins, 2 road playoff wins, while totaling 4,135 passing yards and 35 total touchdowns. With his performance this season, it feels like the window for every other NFC East team is closing. This offseason, Washington will be armed with 8 draft picks and an estimated $93 million in cap space. It's hard to believe that the Washington Commanders won't take another leap next year. They'll be a free agent destination, no doubt, because of how well Jayden Daniels has played this season. And I got to ask you guys this question. Is there any team that you would want to buy more stock in over the next 5 years than the Washington Commanders?
Buy more stock in?
Yeah.
Probably not, based on how special Jayden Daniels' rookie campaign has been, and I only expect him to get better, which is a scary thought. But there's 3 teams that I definitely would buy stock in for the next 5 years. Triple P, the Packers, young team. I still think that there's a lot with Jordan Love there. Surprisingly, the Panthers. I think the arrow is pointing up on the Panthers.
Okay.
Yeah. I really like Dave Canales. That division, please. I don't trust the Falcons, and how long do we expect Baker Mayfield and the Bucs to be at the top of the division? Next 5 years, watch out for the Panthers.
I like Dave Canales as a coach.
I like Dave Canales as a coach,
I
and
like
the
him as a coach.
Patriots.
I knew
The
I was waiting
Patriots.
for the third one.
Drake May looks like he's going to be awesome. Mike Vrabel. They have a lot of growing to do, but I would buy stock in the Patriots for the next 5 years.
But you're not buying more stock in those teams over the Washington Commanders?
No, not at all.
I have one that I would buy more stock in than the Commanders, although I do think you're onto something. In other words, are the Commanders going to become what the Bills have been in the AFC East, or what the Bucs have been recently in the NFC South? Are they just going to be the team that wins the division every single year? And yeah, there is a real strong possibility that could happen. Now, the Eagles are awesome, obviously, but if you're the Giants and the Cowboys, this is a nightmare for you. The only team I buy more stock in definitively, until proven otherwise, is the Kansas City Chiefs. I have no reason to think they're slowing down. Mahomes is the most valuable player in the sport. I saw Andrew Brandt, a business guy, former executive with the Packers, I think with Sports Illustrated now, put over the weekend that Jayden Daniels is the best return on investment, best value in the league because he's still on the rookie deal. While that may be true, I think you could pay Patrick Mahomes $100 million a year, and he's still the best value in the league. Until proven otherwise, I'm going to go with the obvious commodity that are the Kansas City Chiefs.
But you're buying that stock at a high price because it's already a very expensive stock.
I get it. Point well taken, but I'm still going to go with the Chiefs.
Unless Jayden Daniels wins next week and takes his team to the Super Bowl.
Well, then you better buy the stock now.
Can you imagine if he
We
does
said it
that?
last week, though. We said last week he already had a great rookie season, house money, like he's the best quarterback in his draft class. There's no question about it. But we said he was 1 win away from us considering him as the best quarterback in the conference. We said that last week, and he got the win. So now don't we have to put him in conversation for best quarterbacks in the NFC?
You have to.
You know, you just said something else, CC, that's really interesting. There was a moment where everybody would talk about Aaron Rodgers as the people that were supporting Rodgers. You could never say he's better than Brady in terms of accomplishments, but everybody goes, oh, he's the most talented guy. Then Mahomes came around. And you're like, well, I can't say he's the most talented guy. For all of the people that Jordan Love or Brock Purdy or Jalen Hurts or any of the young quarterbacks, oh, he's the best young quarterback in the NFC. No, they are not. This man has quickly surpassed all of the accolades you want to give people as best young QB. I'm too loud again for you. Best young QB in the sport or in the NFC. He's surpassed all of them.
You know what I couldn't help but think as I was watching that game on Saturday night, and as they gave the stat about the Dallas Cowboys having the longest conference championship game drought in the conference.
Right.
Jerry Jones paid $60 million a year for what might be the third best quarterback in the division. I couldn't help it. Jerry Jones might have paid $60 million a year for what might be the third best quarterback in his own division.
And still has to find a coach to coach him.
Wait, I got to put feet to the fire. I got to do the job here. Let's take the might out. Right now, next 5 years, rank the quarterbacks in the NFC East.
I would go Jayden Daniels, Jalen Hurts, Dak Prescott.
So then it's not might. Say it again then. Take out the might.
Yeah, I mean, Jerry Jones pays $60 million a year for the third best quarterback in his division.
And we don't even know who the Giants quarterback is going to be moving forward. That guy could be better.
That's the only reason why.
The Giants quarterback could end up being better.
Oh, my gosh. Tough day to be a Cowboys fan. Next.
Number 2.
Texans edge rusher Will Anderson Jr. called out the officials after Houston's divisional round loss in Arrowhead, saying, and I quote, "We knew it was going to be us versus the refs going into this game," end quote. He was referring to the 2 unnecessary roughness penalties called on hits baiting defenders on the sideline in order to draw a flag. But so we're all clear, those penalties didn't cost the Texans the game. Allowing your quarterback to be pressured on a career-high 23 dropbacks and sacked 8 times is why the Texans lost. 3 kicks is why the Texans lost. Houston became the first team to outgain their opponent by 100-plus yards while not turning the ball over and lose a postseason game. The previous such teams were 49-0 in the playoffs. Even if you take the 10 points from the penalty-aided drives off the board, the Kansas City Chiefs still win the game because they wouldn't have taken a safety in the final seconds of the game on a punt. So for all of the complaining that Will Anderson Jr. is doing and DeMeco Ryans, their head coach, and anybody else in that Houston locker room, stop yourselves. It's embarrassing. We don't like whiners. We like winners. And unfortunately for you, you weren't the latter. You were the former after the divisional round going into Kansas City. The refs weren't the reason why you lost. You're the reason why you lost. And ownership in that is how your team moves forward and takes that next step instead of being capped in the divisional round. So disappointing to see the Texans lose the way that they did. Even more disappointing, the things that we got out of that locker room in the postgame.
Yes, they should take ownership of it, and there were a lot of self-inflicted wounds that the Texans gave themselves in that game. That certainly did not contribute to them being in a better position. But we have to acknowledge that the refs obviously feel like they favor the Chiefs at times. I mean, the NFL isn't going to take lightly to that. But as you're watching it, it does feel like if certain things that would happen to Mahomes, Jared Goff doesn't get the same treatment. I don't think Jalen Hurts would get the same treatment. It does feel like when you're watching the game, like things are a little different for Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs than they are other teams.
I hate this narrative. I absolutely despise it. I think we watch games with the Chiefs with confirmation bias. We go in thinking because they're really good, they must get all the breaks. And any controversial call, we then say, oh, well, the refs are on their side. We've done this with every great team in the history of sports, with every sport. You will watch baseball this year and assume the Dodgers get balls and strikes called in their favor because they've won the World Series. They spend a lot of money and you hate them as it is. Not you, well, you do, but yeah, I don't mean you smalls.
You do hate
them. Right, but I'm just saying, like, that is our we said this about the Patriots. Now we're saying about the Chiefs. We would say this about LeBron. We'd say this about Steph and KD and Clay and Draymond. Like, we do this all the time. No team loses because of the refs. You lose because you put yourself in a position where the refs matter. That or the ump would matter.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Now, that being said, why aren't all personal foul penalties reviewable? We have replay aid, and I'm not saying personal fouls should be able to be challenged. That is not what I'm saying. But we have replay assist for these questionable calls, whether it's an incompletion, whether it's a turnover. We have replay assist for the rest. aid Henry To'oTo'o, those guys hit each other more than they did hit Mahomes. I don't understand why those personal facts.
Experience it live. CeCe.
All right, Javante, here we go. Last one.
Number 1.
It's not always the number of turnovers, but it's when you turn it over. And the Bills-Ravens game was a classic example. Lamar didn't play great.